Hello everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me. So I feel like it's been a long time since I've done a reaction video, so that's exactly what I am doing today. So today I'm going to be reacting to Emma Chamberlain. Now, I'm not familiar with Emma Chamberlain's channel. I know who she is roughly. She is a blogger, I believe. And obviously has done very, very well on YouTube. So it'll be great to watch some content of hers and makeup content. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Just before we get into that today, if this is your first time here on my channel, hi, my name is Robert. I'm a professional makeup artist here on YouTube and also in real life. And it's my goal here to help you become a pro yourself or just someone who's really good at makeup. And sometimes that means separating what we see online versus reality and how it's actually achievable in real life. And a lot of what we see online doesn't really transfer well into real life because of lighting and cameras and filters and everything like that. So I make these videos because I get a lot of people saying that things they have seen online haven't worked for them, techniques they've seen their favorite, beauty gurus do don't work for them in real life. And I'm kind of here to say that's because they're not real life friendly. Now, that doesn't mean you can't do whatever you want in makeup. A lot of people say makeup has no rules. And I always say creativity and individuality have no rules. However, makeup does have a theory, and that is what I'm here to teach. If you have tried everything these beauty gurus have done and you know it's not working for you, that's because makeup has a theory and a lot of the things they do don't work within that theory. So that's what, yeah. And like I said, a lot of people say makeup has no rules, but sometimes you need some rules to help makeup work properly and to work best for you. Like I said, it doesn't mean you can't do whatever you want or be creative. So let's get into that straight away. Okay, let's just do it. I'm gonna shuffle.
Emma's makeup tutorial. This is the most beautiful product. It's called the Kosas Tinted Face Oil. And I take two colors and I mix them. Why? I don't know. Okay, I take this and then I take my whatever sponge. I go here and here and here. I'm gonna talk about Instagram for a second. I have been trying recently.
Okay, so let's just start off with the amount of product she is using. It actually, for like a tinted something, it actually looks like it has quite a good coverage. She has a very nice tone for her skin. We see a lot of people using yellow tone everything in makeup nowadays. So it's yellow tone foundation, yellow tone concealer, even if they're not a yellow undertone. She does have a more yellowy leaning to neutral, but it's not too bad. And you know what's really nice to see as well? I think anyone can wear however much coverage that they want. If they want full coverage, go full coverage. That's absolutely fine. But it's nice to see her use a decent amount of coverage. Not too much, not too little, and applying it in a really nice way. We're so used to seeing this kind of painted on makeup at the moment. This is very refreshing. That's cute.
Anyway, okay, so now that I have all of the foundation layer on, I take the Tarte Shape Tape. I'm not even sure if this is my color, but I use it anyway. The thing about this concealer is that it's so thick. You can't go wrong. Also, when it comes to placement, I really don't know what I'm doing. But I'm trying to like learn more about skincare and get really into it.
Skincare is absolutely the most important step before makeup in any case. Skincare, I think, sometimes is even more important than makeup, because if you don't have a nice canvas, then what you put on top isn't going to be so great either. Let's talk about concealer placement. She has used quite a bit. I always think with concealer, of course, I have my method of applying a dot here and then a few dots in the outside corner there, but and I always think if you like a full coverage concealer and if a small amount isn't quite enough to give you the coverage you want, start off with a tiny bit and then build gradually, especially like around the eye area where you can get quite a lot of texture, where it can be potentially quite dry. You can always add more makeup. It's more difficult to take away. So if you start off with a tiny bit at a time, build gradually, then everything should be okay.
I already kind of showed you guys this routine when I filmed with James. We did a video where I did his makeup, but I didn't really talk about what I was doing. And I also can't do makeup on other people, so it was just kind of definitely not a tutorial. Anyway, take a little bit of powder, put it on the forehead with this brush that's probably, who cares what brush you use, you know what I mean? Put some under the eyes. Under the eyes is very important, but not too much or else there's issues. I like to put some on my lid, maybe around the nose a little bit. Not too much, not too little, just the right amount.
I like how she's using a very fine layer of powder. That's really, really nice. And it looks great on her. It's not too cakey, it's not too powdery. Again, we're used to being online and people baking and whacking on tons and tons of powder and getting this dry cakey face. Where she said whatever brush you use isn't important is kind of true and not true. I mean, like I think we've all reached our different brushes for powder. Like today I used this for powder, and then I also used this. So there really is like variants of what you can use. However, the density of a brush is gonna matter. So she's using a small rounder brush. Do I have one here? No, it's over there. I'm not standing up. A small, denser, rounder brush, which is going to apply more product because it's thicker and denser, so it holds more product. Whereas if you have a brush that has longer hairs and is longer, it's going to be finer, it's going to have more movement, so it's not going to apply product as heavy as a denser brush. That's the same with eyeshadow. So a denser brush is going to apply more color, a bit more pigmentation. And like a blending brush, for example, is a blending brush because it blends it out and fades out color. But also if you were to use a blending brush to apply color, you can get a less fuller application. What? Yes.
Okay, so now that I have my base, it's time to add some bronzer. I take this brush that's not meant for bronzing at all, I don't think. I'm not even kidding, like I know this looks crazy, but like this is literally how I do it. And I put a little bit around my nose and on my cheek. And I don't even have to blend it or anything because it just kind of blends itself when I'm doing it. One time I made a TikTok and everybody was...
I think if a product is blending itself, you're not really applying enough. But also as well, here's the thing with bronzer that a lot of people don't think about is that bronzer, it bronzes, obviously, but because it's slightly deeper than your skin tone, like when we contour, although bronzer and contour are two separate things, but if we're going to deepen an area of the face, it's going to push the face backwards. So when we're bronzing, we should be, a lot of people grab a big brush and they just go everywhere. And we're not talking about trends like the little like blush or bronze on the nose. That's cute. Even that look kind of makes it look like this whole area is the same density, if that makes sense. So with a bronzer, you should really be thinking about where you're applying. So it should be a little bit more sculpting. I think of it like with contour and bronzer, you're going in a similar area, but bronzer is more towards the inside of the face. Like you can bring it inwards a little bit more, whereas contour should be focused and structured to just the bone structure, because that's what contouring is. It's redefining the bone structure, adding shadow. Whereas bronzer is warming and sculpting very slightly, but not quite contouring. So you should really be a little bit more precise with your bronzer. Even if you want an all over bronze look, still be quite precise, because you're going to push those cheekbones back if you use too much. So you're going to have no cheekbones. You're going to push your forehead back. You might make your forehead look smaller. You might make your nose look too small or too big, you know? So do be conscious of where you're applying your bronzer.
Eyeshadow, I really don't know what I'm doing, to be honest. Like I take my bronzer and I cover my lid, right? Which is great. I think it does a little bit, right? If you just slap enough colors on your eyelid, like something will look good. Beauty counter.
I mean, I guess bronzer is a great choice of product if you want like a consistent overall look. If you want to be sculpted and you don't want to go full on, maybe you're just putting on some lashes or some mascara. Bronzer is great to use on the eyes as well as a face. It just makes everything kind of go together really well, and it looks like you've tried but not tried, if that makes sense. So bronzers also make amazing transition shades if you don't really have a transition shade for a neutral eye. That's a great option too. Putting colors in your eye and just seeing what happens is an interesting theory, but we'll see what happens.
Palette. I'm gonna do this one today. I just put a little bit in my crease, but I'm super bad at blending things into my crease without it looking... See, that's so dark.
Okay, yeah, let's stop right there. So there's a few things about this, and this is actually something a lot of people do, and it's a very common mistake people make. So we're looking at this eyeshadow here. The eyeshadow actually comes below her bottom waterline, so that can potentially draw the eyes down in the outside corner. Sorry about all the shadows today. I had to dim one of my lights because I have a huge headache. So this is good lighting for me. And then also, when we're concentrating product in our socket, you do need like a smaller, more focused brush, but also really push into that socket. When you blend, color's gonna come up here naturally. Just really push and go backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. This might not be so bad because you can get a bigger brush at this point and kind of blend it all out. Don't try and fix that bottom bit with makeup remover or anything like that. If anything, cut it off with some concealer. But yeah, let's see how it goes.
Then I'm gonna take some random big brush that I can find. Like, what's the first one I can find? 1, 2, 3, closing my eyes. What's the first brush? And I'm just gonna mess it around, mess it up a little bit.
Okay. No. Okay. She clearly doesn't care about makeup. She just slaps it on. She's like, this is great. Which is fine, which is absolutely fine. So she's clearly not too bothered. But For people that would like to learn something, is that not the same brush that she used for her powder? You guys, you all know, there's no kind of there's no precision with this. It's, you know what though, the way she's doing it is probably just going to all fade out everywhere. But here's the thing as well with using quite a dense, heavy powder brush on your eyelid, is that remember the skin on your eyelid is slightly different to everywhere else. So say you've used an eye base, for example, you can disturb that texture of the eye also. If you're like me and have quite dehydrated eyelids, I know a lot of people, I talk about using eye primers a lot, and a lot of people say they can't use it because they have dehydrated eyelids. If you were to use something, if you rub too much, you can actually start to almost crust away at the product on your eye, and it starts to kind of break down a little bit. So just do be careful.
Okay, then I take this angled brush and I take this like orange thing, and then I mix it with the brown below it. I put it under as eyeliner under my eye. Nobody told me to do this, but I figured it out on my own, and I like how it looks, I think. Then I take the cinnamon and the sable, and I mix them, and then I do top eyeliner very lightly. See, like, I feel like that's good. Where's my coffee?
I love that on her. I think it's really nice. And she has these incredible blue, they're blue, right? So these like oranges and browns tones, literally she could just put orange on her eyelid and her eyes would look amazing. To line underneath her eye and to then match it on the top, she has quite nice big eyes as well. So it really focuses its attention on the shape of her eye. She has a really pretty face. Like her features all together make this really unique kind of beauty. And to have that kind of really nice, I don't know how to describe her eye shape. It's almost like, you know, when you go to like an art gallery and you see paintings from ages ago and the people have these like bigger eyes, she has those really nice bigger eyes. So even that tiny little bit of product looks incredible on her. A lot of people, when I would do some clients, they wouldn't want anything underneath the eye. And I would always be a little bit like, why? And I think they thought it was going to close it up. Putting eyeliner under the eye looks great on anyone, but even more so if you have a lighter eye shade like blue or green, to then go underneath and kind of like encapsule your eye shade in these deeper tones makes it even more brighter in comparison. So it makes your eyes look bigger. I don't know where people get this from, but it's going to close up your eye.
ChamberlainCoffee.com. This is the Social Dog blend, very delicious. I go in and I take this sparkling ivory color and I put it in my inner corner. That's enough eyeshadow for me. I like to smudge it with my finger.
So even though it's not that much on her eyes, I feel like it's quite effective on her. Personally, if I was to be doing her makeup, and again, this is just me to take advantage of the full shape of her eyes, I would put a flesh tone eyeliner inside her waterline on the bottom waterline. I would, of course, add mascara, but then I would also add a darker shade right to the outside corner of eyeshadow, just where she applied it before, and just cheese wedge the outside corner, just to give that slight lift to the outside corner and just to kind of accentuate her eye shape a little bit more. I would also highlight the inside corner of her eyes even more because she has this amazing like swoop down shape that I think would look amazing taking advantage of. Yeah. I
take Carmex and I dip, you can literally tell that I do this often. I dip well, actually, you know, I'm gonna try a new method today of taking a little bit of Carmex, putting it on my brow, and then brushing through it. And it's just because I don't like to fill in my brows at all. I really don't. I don't like how it looks. My eyebrows look too dark, and I'm blonde, so like making them really harsh is too much. But I like them to stay, and I feel like Carmex is perfect. Highlighter time. No.
So Carmex, lip balm, Vaseline, you know, all these things. Yeah, you can use them people use them on their brows and lashes because they want to do whatever, like hydrate them, whatever. I'm not even sure it does that. I don't know. However, something like that on your skin, on your body, remember that your body has a heat to it. Products change with your body temperature. Products can oxidize on your skin, products can melt on your skin, products can get thicker on your skin as it kind of reaches your body temperature. Something like Carmex, which is on the brow, can melt a little bit more. It's in no way going to structure or shape your brows because it isn't made to do that. You need something that hardens to keep something in place. I mean, if we are adding something that adds moisture to the brows, it's definitely not going to keep them in place. Moisture is made there to make something soft, supple, you know, and they need to be hard to stay in place. It's fine to not want products in your brows, especially if you have a really nice brow shape like this where she has thicker brows, but you just use a clear brow gel. That's all you need to do. And if they don't work, there are other products out there, like soap brows, for example, things like that, that you can actually use that are really, really effective at keeping thicker brows pointing up. Carmex, however, I can't even imagine how that is when it starts to, no.
That's too much.
Let's talk.
I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm showing you what I do, but that doesn't mean
Okay, I just want to show you. Can we just talk about brush care and how we use our brushes? Holding it this far down and then doing what she's doing like this is really, really bad for the brush. It's also the same thing where I'm not actually going to open this, but say you have a compact and you're doing this to your compact. The hairs in the brush will eventually start to do this, and they'll turn around and they'll start to go backwards on themselves. So you almost get like these horrible ingrowing hairs within the brush. If you look at your brush and there's like holes, like random holes like this, for example, I just made that myself, then that's probably what you're doing. Holding something this far down applies really thick, really heavy. Again, an example I always do, get the same brush, hold it here and tap on your face, and then hold it here and then tap on your face. Feel that difference in force, you know, in pressure. So what we're doing now here is we're applying too much product if there's a lot of product on your brush, but also we're interfering again with texture. With blush, ideally we want like a smaller brush, maybe angled, one that's not too heavy and not too dense. And we want to again focus in the area that we want and then just brush towards the outside of the face where you want it to be. To push like that. Just, yeah, no.
So I use this like buxom lip injection, what's it called? Plumping lip cream. It does crazy things. I kind of like to put on a product first though sometimes. Like if I add like a little bit of like this, just to add like a baseline of color, like not a lot. See, but this to me looks ugly. Like it doesn't look like I have enough of a lip, which is where the lip injection product comes in.
And also that color as well. We're looking at her coloring. She has like that more golden yellow undertone. So that pink that she put on was very frosted pink. Which really doesn't look very nice on a yellow tone. It almost has a grey tone to it. You want to go peachier with your pinks if you have a yellow undertone.
Makeup is done. Now I take this setting spray that probably doesn't do anything and I spray it everywhere for no fucking reason.
I always say with setting spray, I feel like it doesn't do that much when it's on top of makeup. I think hydrating mists do. They can make the makeup look amazing afterwards and hydrated. I like to use setting sprays before foundation. To me, what ruins foundation is what comes through the skin. Oil, for example, dry skin texture. It's our skin and what comes out of it that ruins makeup. Nothing this way, unless, you know, you're getting rained on or something like that. Our skin gets oily, so we use setting spray on top of our foundation. Doesn't make sense to me. Use it on your skin as a primer and you'll love it. Look how stunning her face is. She's like classically beautiful. She has this face that's like made for like red carpet. She's absolutely stunning. The makeup looks amazing on her. Although it was done in a way that seemed very careless, it's very subtle and accentuates her best features. So I actually think she's done a really nice job. Although there were some little bits as a makeup artist that kind of killed me there. Her skin looks great. Her skin almost looks natural. It looks like she has nothing on it. Her lip looks amazing. Again, I personally would take that a bit peachier, on a peachier side. Her eye color looks incredible. Her eyes look really nicely sculpted. This is another nice thing about eye makeup. It doesn't always have to be color and makeup. If you're going for a natural kind of look, contour your eyes like you would contour your face. Contour through that socket. Contour under the eyes. She looks beautiful. She looks absolutely stunning. I think she looks incredible. So I didn't really know what to expect from that because she isn't. I didn't know if she was like a makeup guru or if she was like a beauty person or what she does. She seems very carefree when it came to doing her makeup and kind of just getting it on and being like, if this is what I need to do, this is what I need to do. With skin like hers, I honestly think something like a highlighter would be really nice. So just like a clear one on her skin and like mascara and something on her lips and go. Put that Carmex on the lips instead of her brows and go. You know, really, really nicely done. There were just a few things in there, like I said, with the brushes, kind of take care of your brushes a little bit more. I think we're kind of, I say this a lot in my videos, I think we're kind of spoiled with how affordable our brushes are nowadays. Like back when I started doing makeup, a good brush was like £50. You couldn't get these like really amazing brushes that you can do now. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I hope you learned something from that video. I hope there was something in there that you can take away with you and incorporate into your own makeup routine. If you have any ideas of what you want me to react to, please leave them below and I'll have a look at those. Follow me on all my social medias. Consider subscribing if you liked this video and I will see you very soon. Bye.